This series tells the story of a man who lived with two conflicting narratives, one from science, one from religion. Seeing the two as one, he left us a vision of a planet moving through time, giving rise to spirit. The story begins in a little church in the French province of Auvergne. Here, in 1881, the Teilhard de Chardin family brought an infant son to be baptized. They gave him the name Pierre. Pierre grew up inside that sanctuary and in others in the nearby city of Clermont, Notre Dame du Port, where the family sometimes worshipped. Inside, a story etched in stone, the one Pierre first learned.
Credo in unum Deum, Patrem omnipotentem,
Creation,
Factore Celi
fall,
et terrae,
redemption,
visibilium
resurrection, the
omnium,
sending of a
et
spirit, a final judgment.
invisibilium.
One of the scenes in that story would tower over Pierre's adult life, an account of Adam and Eve's original sin. There was also Notre Dame de l'Assomption, a cathedral constructed entirely out of black volcanic rock. Inside, the same story, the same atmosphere of meaning that Pierre breathed in.
Descendit de celis, et incarnatus est
In
de
paint,
Spiritus Sancta, ex
in stone,
machina Virgine, et
in
homo
glass.
Deus est,
If you asked yourself, where am I in this story, you could find your place.
Jesus etiam
In the dark, in the
pro
stillness, you could even hear a call, discover a path for your life.
passus et sepultus est.
For most of the year, the Teilhard family lived here, in this chateau. Outside lay another sanctuary, a range of mountains whose mounds of lava and craters said, "There is history here, deep history, another story." In the valleys below, rivers lined with stones, stones with their own bits of history, as ancient as that of the mountains. Guided by his father, a natural historian, Pierre entered this sanctuary too, collecting plants, insects, beetles his favorite, and especially stones and the history they held. Once he and his sister snuck off to the mountains because, so they told their parents, they wanted to see what there was inside the volcanoes. Pierre was 11 when he was enrolled in Notre Dame de Montgré, a boarding school run by the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. Years later, one of his teachers would recall, "This little fellow from Auvergne, very intelligent, first in every subject, but disconcertingly well behaved. Transporting his mind far away from us was another, a jealous and absorbing passion, stones." It was at Montgré that the young Pierre heard a call to become a Jesuit himself, and so, just before his 18th birthday, he entered the order. In the beginning, he made pathetic attempts, he said, to reconcile his passion for stones with a spiritual classic, The Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis. He could not do it. Inner clouds began to gather, dark clouds. Would Pierre have to give up stones in order to follow Christ? He would have run off the rails, he said, were it not for a novice master who assured him that what God wanted from him was the natural expansion of his being as well as its supernatural perfection. A simple bit of spiritual direction, a blessing meant for the moment, lifted those clouds. And so, Teilhard said, I emerged from that trial unscathed. Unscathed, a door reopened to the sanctuary he had loved as a child, to the story hidden within its walls, not displayed on them, to the story science would tell and stand across from the one religion did. Nothing about Teilhard's early years forecast a collision between those stories. Science and religion, he would write, have always been for me one and the same thing. Both have been the pursuit of one and the same object.